was the first dormitory on Michigan State University's campus, and it was built in 1856. Sadly, it was destroyed by a fire in 1876. Luckily, the fire happened during winter break, so no students, no faculty, no staff were harmed in the fire. The dorm had 3 floors, and it held about 100 men that were the first students here at Michigan State University.
So it's exciting how this Saints Rest site is so rich with MSU history, both because of its status as one of the first buildings on campus, and also certainly many campus archaeology students are familiar with the site.
There have been many excavations at Saints Rest. The biggest excavation was in 2005, which entailed an archaeological field school. It helped create what we now call the MSU Campus Archaeology Program, which was the first campus archaeology program in the world.
It's obviously a medicine bottle. It says Palmer and Nixon Glass Block Pharmacy, and it even has Lansing, Michigan on it.
We are in the Bloomberg Philanthropies Digital Accelerator Digitization Lab, which is a program designed to help museums and cultural institutions increase their technology infrastructure. For us, that looks like the ability to digitize and make 3D models of some of our collections, and then also consider how we can incorporate those collections and 3D models into educational products.
I am one of the research assistants working on the photogrammetry aspects of the Saints Rest digitization project. So my role is essentially to take hundreds of photos of different artifacts from Saints Rest. Photogrammetry is taking 2D renderings of an object. You take anywhere between 100, sometimes it can be upwards of 1,000 images. The second part is plugging all of those images that you've taken into some sort of software. But the base part of it, the mesh, is what you build from those 2D images to make them 3D in a program like Agisoft Metashape.
I think it's really exciting that we're able to experiment with what it looks like to use those models. We're picking out some items and we're going to incorporate them into a VR experience. I think with looking at these historical objects, sometimes it's really hard to imagine them in the time and the place that they came from. So for example, like the plate that's behind me, I just kind of look at it and I might just think of it as a plate. I'm having a hard time maybe considering it as a larger piece of history, or even as a larger piece of an individual person's day-to-day story. So these 3D assets aren't just going to be looked at as individual objects, but by incorporating them into this VR experience, we can really help people to think about not just the objects as a single artifact, but the objects as a part of a larger story.
For artifacts, I think it's great because people are able to see more of the collections online. So taking photographs of artifacts, creating 3D models, and putting them online, it allows people from all over the world, the public, researchers, students, to see what's out there in the collection.
In addition to being important for increasing access to our collections, I think it's also important for us as we're experimenting and being innovative with what education looks like. We don't want to just stop there. There's a lot of exciting possibilities with what we can do with these models. I'm also interested in how we can collaborate with staff and faculty on campus. So after we have some examples of projects and what we can do, I'd be really interested in seeing what other people on campus would like to do.